What is going on, guys? My name is David Worrell. Welcome to the Stock Market Watch List. We do this every Sunday, and I have a little side quest on Sunday, so you're watching this as it's pre-recorded. But if you're here for the watch list, fast forward. We got a few things to go over. First, we'll hit the economic calendar. What you need to know is coming up because there is some volatility inbound, especially on Wednesday. And we'll go over the CME Fed Watch tool. We'll look at the interest rates. We'll see what they are predicting. Of course, we'll go over the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the IWM, and the Dow. And then we'll touch on the sectors. We'll see what's hot, what's not, and we have your watch list. So I hope you folks are ready because I sure as hell am. Let's do this, baby. Well, I tell you what, the most beautiful thing about the overall stock market right now is the melt up. We made a new all-time high on Friday, and that is a beautiful thing. Now, the first thing I need to do here is show you on the economic calendar, there is volatility incoming. We got new home sales on Monday. We have durable goods on Tuesday, but what we are all looking at is Wednesday. On Wednesday, we have the FOMC statement, the Fed interest rate decision, and the FOMC press conference. You better believe it. If old Papa Powell comes out and he seems a little too hawkish or a little too dovish, it's going to go in that direction. Dovish, he is going to let the market rip tater chip as it's continued. But if he seems real hawkish, he might be able to persuade the market to start coming back down. Of course, on Thursday, the initial jobless claims will be coming out. And if you guys remember what happened last time we had initial jobless claims come out, what a doozy that was. And then, of course, the PCE index on Friday. But the most volatile is going to be on Wednesday and Thursday. So please pay attention to that. The FOMC interest rate decision is at 2, and the FOMC interest rate meeting or the press conference is at 2:30 on Wednesday. That is going to be your make or break type of deal. And then initial jobless claims will be coming out on Thursday at 8:30 in the morning. Now, when we think and talk about the FOMC minutes, the interest rate decision, I'm not too excited about it. I think it's going to be a stay at 97.9%. We are going to stay. We are going to have a rate stay, and we really don't see a huge change until May. There is a quarter of a interest rate cut on the line, so we will see very soon if that rises or falls with the newest data to come out. With that being said, I think we'll be at a stay. I don't think the market's going to change too much, but we will see. Of course, the market does not give a bleep what I think. That's for damn sure. So S&P 500 looking beautiful, looking bullish as hell. Of course, we are in an area of resistance, which is the all-time high. We did clear that all-time high, so that is a great sign. Love to see it. We want to see what is to happen next. I think if we look at the overall indicators, the 10, the 21, and the 50, it would be wise for the market to come back down and kind of settle or even trade sideways. If this thing just traded sideways, that would be a beautiful sign. So just a few ways to look at this. It could come down here, and bounce around and start to make new higher lows and head back up. That's one scenario. Of course, the best case scenario for this thing to trade sideways and then rip tater chip, that would be a great sign. But of course, the last thing we want to see is this thing to break down and get below this 50-day moving average. That would be a bad sign. It would almost, but breaking a new all-time high. And then if we look at this on the weekly, look how strong this candle is. Last time we had a melt up, actually I was watching Dan's analysis, he pointed this out. Last time we had a melt up over here, you can see, boom, we just ripped. Look at this melt up, boom, we just ripped. And look, these big candles right here signify a bigger move, it almost looks like. Like, look at this here. Boom, melt up. Will it do it again? That's the question. We will have to wait and see. But I am ready, I am prepared, and I am risk on. And we need to further look into the market to see what the sector shift is all about. I think you'll be interested to see what's hot, what's not, and the leaders that I have on my board that you need to put on your watch list. Because if you remember last Sunday, we talked about a lot of them, and now we are making money, baby. So don't have fear of missing out. Make sure you are well prepared and stay tuned. We're going to be there in just a second. Let's go over the sectors. So we went over the S&P 500, very bullish, looking very good. Of course, the IWM, the lagger itself, is still trending to the north side. What I like about this look, and we'll throw this on the weekly. Well, actually, right here's the weekly. You can see right here, guys, we have this trend line. It's very, very obvious, very easy to see. You can see a trend line. It's simple. It's very simple. And right here, this white line is going to be your base, and the red line is your all-time high. Those are the two biggest areas of resistance, as this is the area of support. Anytime that I think the IWM is going to continue higher and then have rotation into it, the great rotation as I was calling it before, no, we're not seeing it. We're stuck in this consolidation right back over here. This spaghetti of a mess is now starting to turn into this spaghetti of a mess. So I don't know when we are actually going to see this rip tater chip, but I've kind of given up on the IWM. The S&P 500 is leading the charge in this market, and the NASDAQ is a very, very close second. It has not hit a new all-time high. So tech is still doing well, but we're going to see where these sectors are at. Here is tech QQQ, same as the NASDAQ. Of course, Bitcoin reaching 105,000 and reaching a new all-time high of 109,369. Did I get that right? 109,000 point, we'll just say 109,500, okay, to make it easy on me. But yes, new all-time highs for Bitcoin as well. It's acting just like Bitcoin should. Of course, I don't have anything in Bitcoin, but there is MSTR that you could play, or IBIT, or just buying dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin as, you know, as I think you should. But of course, that's not financial advice. Let's take a look at the sectors, though. So we have technology. We already looked at this. The QQQs and the NASDAQ look very similar to XLK. We have XLY. This is consumer discretionary. Let me throw this up on the daily here and throw up our indicators, because we want to see where we're at on the 50-day moving average. So this consumer discretionary is looking good. A nice bounce off that daily. We have Hack, which is your cybersecurity, looking very, very good. We have XRT, not something we need to be looking at. That's retail. It's pulling back. We have the communication services right back at it above a 50-day moving average. So we're starting to see rotation back into that. Technology software back above a 50-day moving average. XLP, so consumer staples. We need to stay away from consumer staples. They are well below a 200-day moving average. And until we see rotation into consumer staples, I would just stay hands off of those stocks. KRE, this is regional banking, the smaller banks. This is under the 50-day moving average, but XLF has been leading the charge off of this base here. Of course, the banking stocks actually had a nice rally because a lot of earnings have came out, and they're obviously proving themselves to the market. And XLF is treating itself to a nice, tasty, above the 50-day moving average. So definitely the banking sectors we could take a look at, and Goldman Sachs is pretty much leading that charge. We have biotech, well below a 200-day moving average. I wouldn't even look at biotechs right now until we see some strength in that market. We want some strength in the market before you start playing that crap. Real estate, not looking good. Just lingering around like some bad breath on that 200-day moving average. Materials, below a 200-day moving average. Healthcare, below a 200-day moving average. So I know that we've seen some setups in healthcare, but we're still just trying to bounce off this area. This is the danger zone, as I called it, the area that we should have bounced off. It went a little lower than I anticipated, overshot it, and is now bouncing. So, you know, you might be one of those bottom feeders where you want to grab it and take it for a high long. It might work. You know, I kept saying it probably will work. There's going to be some rotation, but that's not how I play. I want the leaders to lead, and I'm not looking at any leaders in the healthcare sector right now because the overall sector needs to do better. For breadth in the market, this is the RSP. This is going to be the equally weighted S&P 500. We're above a 50-day moving average, and if you remember here, we were trending very, very well, and we're starting to see breadth come back in the market, okay? Some people like to lean on that. Some people don't care. My opinion is it's only going to help my thesis to stay long in the market. Of course, we have industrials doing very well, again, above a 50-day moving average. Just last week, people, just last week, we were in a scary situation. A lot of things were below a 50-day moving average. We created 3 new lower highs in the overall S&P 500. And then old presidential Trump came out. And after we filled that presidential gap that we had up from a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we touched that gap, we filled that gap, and then we rip, tater, chip. And so now everything looks different. A week later, everything looks different. We went from risk off for about 2.5, 3 weeks to risk on in the past 4 days, and we are seeing our accounts grow. We have MDY, which is the mid caps. It's doing very well. XLE. So this is energy. It's above all of its moving averages. It's kind of stuck in this range here. You can see right here is the resistance. It ran into resistance. So we're going to have to give this a little bit more time, but I know energy is hot right now. A lot of people are looking at energy, and there is a lot of energy stocks that are setting up. So keep your eye on energy. Of course, into this resistance, I would like to see it create a new higher low here before we actually started to make a fuss and take some tasty trades. So that's best case scenario, new higher low, and then we get a hold of this thing as it breaks moving averages. We also have XLU above all of its moving averages, holding off very well after it broke up, made a new high, retested the 200-day moving average, and now is above all moving averages. So the utilities sector is doing well, and the further we have more rate cuts, the better off XLU will be doing. So I would say within about 3 more months, this thing will probably be on another beautiful trend to the north side, but we will have to see. I don't have my crystal ball, or do I? All right, we also have XOP, so this is exploration of gas, just kind of trading sideways. Not the prettiest look, not where I want to park my money, so I don't really care about any of the exploration or gas stocks. I don't know why Dow Jones Industrial is all the way down here, but we're going to talk about it. It's above all the moving averages after a huge push up, huge pull back. There's a lot of expansion here. I would not be surprised if this just traded sideways for a little while to kind of digest all of this product, all of this trading here. That's a lot going on there. So maybe some sideways action from that. Now, nuclear, we've seen in SMR and NNE, in OKL, whatever it is, we've seen a huge push up. Now, nuclear is right at its area of resistance. It wouldn't surprise me if we had a pullback. It really wouldn't surprise me. So this is uranium and nuclear ETF. Definitely keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. I like it. If we can balance this sheet out a little bit and then start trending once again, then you'll have yourself a tasty little trade. And of course, gold reaching up here and almost grabbing a new all-time high. We'll have to wait and see what this wants to do. I think a pullback is imminent on this as well, but we'll see. It's trending well and it's looking really good. Okay. Now we have leaders, the leaders list, but I need to give a awesome shout out to one of my favorite people in our Discord. And by the way, you can join our Discord for absolutely $0. Get in while you can, because if I see one more damn bot or spammer come in there, I'm going to start charging everybody $1 just so we can keep all the spam out and protect people a little bit more. But with the value of the Discord being $0, you're going to want to join because we have an awesome Discord. And this beautiful lady right here, Sweet Jolene, posts this in our Swing Trader Strategy on Facebook, guys. So if you have Facebook, definitely join Swing Trader Strategy. It's in my description down below. Click that link tree. You'll find Facebook. You'll find the Discord. You'll find my YouTube. You'll find everything. So click that down there, and you'll see this is a beautiful, beautiful thing that she wrote out here. Just a girl trying to learn boring, good trade. And not many people talk about boring trades. They want to be flashy and fun. And I threw 1,000, blah, 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 and my shills are going crazy, and I made $1,000 in 2 days, or whatever. It's fractal, right? A lot of people don't talk about how good trading is boring. And right here, she goes over the psychology and adjusting your expectations, how you can tantalize your boringness with looking for new opportunities, engaging with the trading community, like the Discord I just recommended, where she's reaching out and she's chatting. And personally, I've grown a great relationship with her because I like to save money. Even though I have money, I tell everybody I have money because I don't spend money. Or if I spend money, I like to save money. I'm always looking for a deal. I'm a trader at heart. So if I can find a better deal, and she's showing me how to coupon clip. I know I sound so old, but she's showing me how to do all these little things where I can save money. And, it just feels good. You make a little $30 here, you save $2 there, you go, and it's a beautiful thing. And she's writing these up like once a week. And I love reading them. Mental discipline, automate some aspects, different platform. She talks about just her trading in general. And it's awe-inspiring. And I just had to tell you guys about it. So make sure you join Swing Trader Strategies in our Discord as well. So that way you can get up to date on sweet Jolene's updates. It's absolutely awesome. And there was one other thing that I wanted to bring up too. Yosef, another Discord member of ours, actually brought up a really, really good point. And I don't know if it was posted in here. I think it is. Let me just scroll down here, guys. This is a beautiful, beautiful group. I mean, it has so much in here, guys. So much awesome. I mean, just read through it. Just read through all of this. You'll be a better trader, I promise you. But we have a lot of volatility coming up. And one of the biggest things is this right here. We have the most anticipated earnings coming up this week, and it's going to be absolutely crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. I feel like I just need to bring it up for you right now. Let me go to Twitter and bring up the big page here. So Earnings Whisperer is what I use. You can use whatever you want. And of course, if you want to find me on Twitter, check out that link tree down there, and you can join me and follow me. Okay, so let's scroll down. Let's find the monthly. I think it's really important that you guys see this because this month is absolutely nuts. But better yet, this week is going to be crazy. So I don't want to spend too much time looking for this thing. But let's see. I may have had it. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I think I had it up once already, guys. Anyway, let's bring this up really quick, and then we'll go over the watch list. So if you guys look on Wednesday, we have Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, big ones. Tuesday, we have Starbucks. Let's see. Thursday is Apple, Intel, Visa, MasterCard, Caterpillar. Just a ton of huge, huge stocks, UPS. These things move the market, guys. Apple is the market, guys. So when you see, Meta and Tesla and Microsoft and IBM and Apple all in the same week trading, expect volatility because I tell you, this will set the tone. This will set the tone. If these things aren't doing well, it will set the tone for the rest of the week, month, year, sometimes. At least until next earnings season. So definitely keep an eye on all this. ExxonMobil is on Friday. So there's a lot going on here, guys. Be really, really careful with your stocks. Make sure you have risk management in mind, and also make sure that you have a process to trade. So let's go through the leaders. Of course, we have NVIDIA. NVIDIA just reached up and grabbed this area here and pulled back today pretty hard. We also have A-Lab, which I thought was a close second in NVIDIA, and it broke its 50-day moving average when all the other chip sectors, the semiconductors, is doing well. So I don't like A-Lab's look right now. It's not looking good. And of course, Tesla right before earnings, which is coming out very, very soon, Wednesday, the 29th of January. So in the middle of the week there, I think I said Wednesday. You can see this thing is it's staying in its range, but they're trying to shake some people out, I think, before earnings. So we'll see what Tesla has to do. Of course, I'm not trading earnings. I think if you trade earnings or if you trade a new IPO, you know who I'm talking to. Don't be doing that crap. It's a gamble, guys. It's a gamble. We also have CYBR. I've been talking about this. It's a leader. It does not have a setup just yet. We had a setup here and a setup here. This was a much better setup because the market looked a lot more healthy here. So you could have taken that. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. We talked about SMWB. This was beautiful. I pointed this this simple base breakout here, but the market wasn't looking so pretty. And then, of course, we had this trend breakout here I liked. It came down and retested its breakout area. This would have been a hard one to hold on to, but if you were able to, you have been rewarded. Meta, with the earnings coming up, it created new all-time highs again today. We talked about the simple base breakout and this being a trend breakout as well. You can see here it did very, very well, and it did exactly that. A few other ones. Now these are your big ones. The closer I get to the bottom, the bigger the watch list I want you guys to keep on. So INTA is trying to break out of this cup. It's creating a handle. It's a little bit wide and sloppy, so it needs time to get tighter. What do I mean by that? Well, see how tight these candles are? These are a lot wider candles. I much rather see tight, smaller candles before it decides to take off. So we'll see. Of course, I've been keeping a close eye on root because if we zoom out here, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, blah, 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 blah. This area right here, if it holds, I really think it can take off. When to actually take this is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But I think it's primed. I think it's right in its area to do so. So definitely keep this on your watch list, if anything. Because if we look at this on the weekly as well, it's looking strong. All right? It's looking strong. We're holding, we're pushing, we're holding. We're creating a new higher low. Maybe one more new higher low in the weekly, but on the daily, it looks like it is primed. So if you can find proper risk reward on that, just keep your eye on the ball. Rocket Lab rocketed to the north side. I think we need to add a little emoji on this thing. Holy cow, why do we not have a rocket emoji on Rocket Lab? This thing is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Aerospace and defense. I know my boy Beef Stewie's been watching this. Everybody in the Discord really has been capitalizing on this but myself. Now, there was a few spots that I was keeping an eye on, but I never got a hold of, all the way down here at 636. Beautiful, beautiful trend breakouts. And then we had an even better looking base breakout right before earnings. So that was very nice to see. And anybody holding that in the Discord, congratulations. I am so happy and proud that you guys can at least capitalize on something that I was not able to. Now, MSTR, I told you my picture perfect look since I missed the trend breakout. It's pulling back now. It's making it very hard for people to hold on to MSTR. We used MSTU, the 2x leverage, but I'm telling you, the best case scenario is for this thing after a huge move is just to trade sideways like this. Trade sideways, trend sideways for a while, get tight, and then break up higher before it goes. We talked about GEV. This is the base breakout. Absolutely scrumptious trade here. This is what the dreams are made of. GE, GEV, Varonis. This is the electrical producer manufacturing, and they're doing an amazing job here, guys. A beautiful breakout, a retest, and then a rip tater chip. Now we have AVGO. I do have shares in AVGO. I'm using AVGX. I took it right before this trend breakout. I called it out in the Discord. Of course, some of you have taken this with me and made it your own trade. And I'm very happy for you. Now, with AVGO, it's been crazy because every morning it gaps up and it usually doesn't hold. It sells up. So it gaps up and then it sells out. Gaps up, sells off. This one sold off even harder. Gapped up this morning and then sold back down off. But it's still holding its gains on the way up, and it's getting me further and further away from this trend breakout where I took it. Just below this trend breakout, somewhere right around here. So we're up some shills, and I'm very happy to say we took this. It was hard to take it, but we were risk on, and I've been watching AVGO and talking about it for over 3 weeks now since the earnings gap up. So I hope everyone else has followed that too. We also were looking at HIMS, but because the healthcare sector, I stayed away from this trend breakout, but we're keeping an eye on it because it is very popular and we have good earnings. We have better than most earnings with healthcare, and it's holding most of these gains from its push up here too. Of course, CEG just straight up. There's nothing I can do with CEG until it calms the F down. It needs to chill out. It needs to take a chill pill. Okay, calm yourself now. And once we see a trend or a base breakout on this, I'll be able to get into CEG. But this energy stock has really been proving itself day after day. Of course, Hood, we talked about this base breakout, still looking very, very well. I hope anybody who has this is still holding. And I do hope you have taken some profits, paid yourself into strength, but I do hope you're holding the majority of it because it's looking very, very good. We have LX. Now, there was 2 times you could have played this basing breakout and this trend breakout. I called this trend breakout here, wasn't able to get a hold of it. Absolutely monstrous breakout here on LX. So I'm really happy. There was more than one spot you could have gotten this. Here's the trend breakout. Here's a base breakout. Not the best base breakout because we don't have new higher lows getting tight right before the breakout. So hard to take this one, but this trend breakout looked really nice. I would like to see, 1 or 2 more days here right before this breakout. But hey, you don't always get what you want. And it took off very nicely. So it was nice to see. Bros, the coffee maker, is now setting up. I'd like to see a couple more days. I know you guys are going to hear me say that a lot, but a couple more days just to kind of let that 10-day moving average catch up. Let it get really, really tight here. Really, really tight before we get a nice little ripping. Okay, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to keep an eye on it. If it does break out from here, I might take, half share size because I would expect it to pull back down and get tight again, but we'll see. Now, we talked about VST. I want to explain to you guys, VST did very, very well. Everybody's talking about Vistra Corp now. We talked about the cup. We talked about this beautiful handle and this being a simple base breakout. Not only did it happen, but it gave you that retest. These retests are very, very popular, and I think it's very important to keep an eye every time these stock retest because the retest has been working in this market very, very much so. It breaks out, it retests, and then it takes off, shaking the weak hands out. Now look at this chart. See this cup, see this handle, and then the breakout. I want to show you that first because look at this right here. Another cup. It's forming a handle, and it has the ability to break out here. Okay, so keep your eyes on SE. I looked at the financials. They're looking really good. They're making money annually, quarterly. Their net margin continually goes higher. So I think SE is going to be the next one that really starts to run. This is retail trade though, which retail trade I don't think was doing so well when we looked at it. So just keep that in mind. Oh no, not a yawn. I'm doing this a little late, guys. It's 11:30 here. I got a lot of work to do over the weekend. That's why hit that subscribe button for me. I'm busting my ass in every aspect of my life. And I love doing this so much. Eventually we'll get to the point where I can just focus on YouTube, focus on the community and the family to make sure I'm bringing you guys the absolute best content. That's why I'm doing this today because I can't be live on Sunday. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. I really, really do. So hit that like and subscribe for me, guys. Of course, we have Reddit. Now, I've talked about Reddit multiple times. And you guys know that I'm in Reddit. I've been holding Reddit for quite some time now. And we'll see what happens with Reddit, but we have a beautiful base breakout. It is retesting. I wouldn't even call this a retest so much as it's still trying to get out of that basing area. So we're going to see. I'm just going to hold. I'm going to use this low as my stop loss because I'd like to see how high this really can go. With that being said, if I see any distribution up here, I might reduce my share size, but I'm not really holding too much of Reddit. I took this much after I took a lot of my other stocks. Of course, DEC, this was a trend breakout, also a base breakout, depending on how you looked at it. But we took it. We're holding on to it. It's a slower mover, but I'm okay with that right now. And then there's APP. It's been getting a lot of attention from a lot of bigger traders now. And I think it's funny because I've been watching this and I've been telling you guys about this leader thing for a long time. All of a sudden, I'm starting to see a lot of other people get interested in it, and I don't like that so much. When more eyes start to get on the stocks that I'm looking at, even though they are leaders, if they start getting talked about too much, I feel like institutional ownership is going to come up and muck things up like they always do. So do keep that in mind. It's starting to get popular. I really hope this thing can take off and rip tater chip, because I do have quite a bit of shares of this. But the thing is, AVGO is my biggest holding right now, which, you know, with semiconductors not doing so good, SMH actually just getting above this area of resistance, hopefully it acts as support. And I say hopefully because who knows what's going to happen. But if it can act as support and continue higher, my AVGO will do well. APP, on the other hand, we're above this basing area. We had a nice little shakeout, and then it rallied back up. We're going to see if this thing wants to take off. I mean, it looks good. It's acting good. And the weekly looks even better. So we'll see, because it closed very strong on the week. And I'm very happy with the trade. And then, of course, I brought this up in the Discord. And I'm really curious what you guys think, too. Let me bring this up over here. This is Google. Now, I've been holding Google for a while now. I like Google. I like the way it looks. My issue here with Google, though, is this almost, you know, I can't tell. Is this accumulation or is this distribution? One thing I will note very, very clear with Google, though, is if we look at this on the weekly time frame, it just looks so strong. It looks very strong. It closed. It made a new all-time high. It closed on a high. It's looking really, really good. And if we look at the daily with our indicators, you'll see it's still holding above all the moving averages, the 10 and 21-day moving average. It's holding above. And even when the market had a huge pullback, this thing stayed strong. So I asked the Discord, do you guys think this is accumulation or distribution? A lot of you said distribution. I'm kind of up in the middle. I'm having a hard time reading it, but what I do see here is a beautiful cup with handle. If we look at this on the weekly, it's even prettier. You have a cup with a handle. You can even have called this a trend break, because we had some trends being created in this area. I played it as a trend break, but now I like it even more as a base break. It's looking a lot like APP is, where you have this beautiful base with a little pop right there. I'm going to say I am still very bullish on this. I'm going to keep all my shares in this. I wanted to wait till the close on Friday to look over everything on the weekly time frame. And I tell you what, I am still very excited. I still think we're going to continue to melt up. We'll see, though, because we are in an area of resistance. The market doesn't give a shit what I think. It doesn't care what you think either. I don't care what kind of high horse you got. Get off of it, because the market will knock you off of it if you're not careful. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I really, really do. I know I packed it full of information. Guys, we finally made it as a YouTube channel. We're plenty of subscribers, plenty of people in the community, and now I have my watch time hours. It's very, very close, and I'll start getting paid from YouTube now. So that's a dream come true. It really is. So I hope to continue and bringing you better and better content. And if you guys loved and enjoyed this, please hit that like and subscribe. We will go back to the live show next Sunday. So I hope we pack the house next Sunday. I want everybody to be here, so that way you can bring all your tickers, shit tickers or not, bring them all. I'll go over every one of them. We'll do a 2-3 hour session. I don't care, as long as you guys want, and we'll knock it out of the park. Absolutely love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Peace.